That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word.
They begged him to stay. Lewis Field.
You can't stay here by yourself. The doctor said you need 24-hour care.
Then one day it struck him. Silver flute. Then one night he forgot to go home from the cannery.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
But he was so proud of having created it.
Or a single week.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
That came from the basement.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
If she told me there was going to be so much climbing...
Just breathe.
If there's a pattern in all these stories...
I don't need apologies.
My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Methodical, tireless, focused.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Lewisburg.
You always say that.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
I wasn't there myself. So did her fans.
She was almost too big to swallow.
The Queen was on her own quest for...
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. His room was a fortress. Whatever came for them, Sam swore he'd be armed against it.
Do I have to do this?
About everything.
Like a smile with too many teeth.
Dad!
Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
My mom moved up to the loft after Grandpa Sam died.
Lost in his imagination.
I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep.
I asked Mom once about where Walter had gone.
He followed the sound of his prince waited, holding his crown.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Daydreaming of a labyrinth.
Maybe it's not something we should have gotten used to. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. It was a pretty big trace.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, meeting her fans was a dream come true.
Good luck, Kay. What his world was like.
And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time.
But I need to stop living the same day.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee.
As for Barbara, all they ever found of her was tucked inside the music box.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very specific.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
The bed I shared with my sister.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
But now I hope you never see it.
Lewis Hagen.
That's not what I said.
Something we should have left behind, but couldn't.
Acoustic guitar.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
The rest happened pretty quickly.
Barb! Have you seen my other crutch?
When I saw the old house sitting on dry land, something reached out to me.
I gobbled her up.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Like a whole new Lewis.
Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Always remember that, okay?
And toads.
You're being scary right now, do you know that?
First, all I heard was the wind. I kept eating and eating.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
He became obsessed with his achievements.
You probably just want the truth. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. She got better for a while.
Coming! I will never forget this weekend, Dad.